Thursday, April 11th. Here's what's coming up on the mayor's office.
Dude, your boy Booney got tossed last night. He was pissed.
He gone. Dude, when you're in the dugout with him, I can't tell you how many times I got, slap Mendoza and be like, here he goes. He's about to go off. He's about to go off. Like, and dude, listen, Booney gets tossed 4 times a year. He should be tossed 12.
Really?
The guy's chirping every game, dude. Every game he's chirping.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top and keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot. What's going on, brother?
Dude, you are hot, man. You're hot today, dude. You're all over the place. You got McAfee 2 days ago. Last night you're on Late Night with Seth Meyers. What's next? Like, are you doing a Golden Globes next year? Are you hosting? What do we got? You're on fire, Case. I'm fired.
I got a lot of action right now, man. I'm all over the place. It was funny. We went to this. I want to get it right, Sarah. Where we go last night? Emilio Bellado's. Yeah, Emilio Bellato, I believe, dude. It's like Rayo's. It's like, dude. I honestly felt like the first time in my life I was in an episode of The Sopranos. I was like, oh my gosh, there's really Italian dudes that talk like this and they're serving your food. It's legit.
That's
It's
legit.
legit. It was incredible. And we obviously had a connection to get in there. I guess you can't even get in there. So
Probably not.
went there for dinner. And then Sarah and I stayed out late, which is like, we were in bed at like 1 o'clock, which that is like 7 a.m. in the morning if somebody came in on a bender or something. So
That's so good.
We had a great night, dude.
It was awesome. You guys were awesome. First of all, you and Denver great together anyway, and Denver's great, and he's a pro too. But like, you got to walk me through, man, because I've been to like Letterman before. I've been to things as a fan.
Yeah.
But what is that experience like? Like, where do you go? Like, walk me through like how you get in there. They take you to a green room. Did you meet Kirsten Dunst? She was on the show. Like, how's that all?
Dude.
Take us through the whole.
Well, what's funny is this is my 8th time being on Seth Meyers, which has been incredible. Seth's incredible. What a great dude. Loves baseball. So, loves having us on to talk baseball in the season and stuff, which is really cool. It's been a good marriage with MLB Network and him. And usually, like when I was at Millar, I've done 7 episodes 7 times with Millar. This is the first time I did it with Dempy. Usually we meet the people. Like who have we met back there? God, why am I drawing a blank? What's the guy's name that was on the 70s show that then did Charlie Sheen's show? Yeah, Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher was one of the guys we met back there. And there's been a lot of cool people. Kirsten Dunst was there. We were right next to her locker room, or not locker room, her green room.
Yeah.
But we didn't meet her for whatever reason. I was like kind of bummed we didn't meet her. But you go back there, you hang out in the green room. Sarah was there and Kelly was there, Dempster and some friends, and then Seth came in, talks to us. We go over with the producer. Like we had a call the day before.
Pre-interview. Yep, that's what you do.
Yeah, pre-interview about what are some things you guys want to talk about. I mean, Demp and I had an hour show, bro. With the stories we had so many more stories. And then we gave it all to the producer, and then they meet with Seth, and then they meet with us. So when we got there, they went over what we wanted to talk about. Then Seth came in and said hi. Well, that was cool. And then he went out, and then we went on. And it's so funny, dude. Right before we went on, we're behind the curtain. And right before they announce us, we go out there. I said to Demp, I was like, dude, I don't remember one of the topics. And he's like, it's better that way. It's better that way. So when we went out there, dude, I didn't remember like we were talking about because I think it was just like a little nervous excitement. So when we got out there, a couple things we talked about, dude, we didn't even rehearse. We didn't even, I was like, oh, here we go. So it's, when it becomes a conversation with friends, that's when it's probably a little more unique. Like when he was talking about shaving my back in like 2002, when I was like, yeah. So I'm like, I didn't even know he was going to bring that up. I'm like, is he bringing this up right now?
That was fun. That was a fun part of the show.
So we had some fun with that.
Yeah, well, it's also cool. Like the good thing having Dempster there is like he's a bona fide host. Like he hosts off the mound and he knows the mechanics of it too. And you've
Yeah.
been on the show before. You guys were so relaxed. Like you both were in your element. So that was really fun to see, man.
Oh,
Appreciated
that's
shout out from
it's,
Seth at the end. Props to Lou
yeah.
Belli for getting that in there for us too.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Lou, for getting that, and then
Yeah.
Seth Meyers for shouting out the Mayor's Office podcast. We're trying to get it out there. We need the subscribes and the downloads.
Yeah, we do.
Keep moving the needle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Old Pat, got us going. So
There you go. We got to get both of those guys on our show, dude. You got to get McAfee will do our show, I think. And I think Seth.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get McAfee on at some point, and we'll definitely get Seth on. I was talking to Seth about coming on. He's like 100%.
Huge Red Sox fan, right? He's a Boston
Huge
guy.
Pirate fan too.
Oh,
Red Sox and Pirates though. His love's in Pittsburgh, Pirates, Steelers, because his dad's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, interesting.
And dude, his dad's from like East Liberty. Like if you're from East Liberty, your kids are going to be Pirates, Steelers fans, or they're out. Or they're out.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, dude, speaking about football, dude, this is a big one today. Just is always on top of like the TMZ alerts. OJ Simpson died. That got me. Like, not that I'm sad for him or anything, but it's just like, wow, this is like that's a big one. That is a big one.
Yeah. All I remember is like I said, when I think of OJ Simpson, I remember where it's one of those moments you're like, where were you when the Bronco was on the freeway and it was rolling? And I remember where I was. I was in the Cape Cod League. I was at the PA announcer Jim had a little barbecue that night. So a few of the players were over his house, and all we were doing was locked into OJ driving that agent or whatever Cowlings or whatever the guy's name.
Al Cowlings.
Yeah, Al Cowlings was driving it, and OJ, and so that's what I remember. And then after that, OJ's, obviously he got off, and then he went to jail for that, for the gun charge or whatever. Yeah,
all that crap.
Yeah, it's been a weird last few years for OJ Simpson. I don't know how I feel about it. It is weird.
A weird feeling, right?
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah.
Well, because it's part of like the culture of your life. Dude, you got to remember back then, I'm a Knicks fan. In New York, it was so messed up because they cut away from the NBA finals, Knicks and Houston. And I'm telling you, the Knicks were going to win that series. And once they cut away from that, the Knicks started going into tank for the rest of the series. I always was like, it's OJ Simpson's fault the Knicks didn't beat them that year. Obviously, it means nothing. But, dude, I remember it's a crazy thing. It's funny because Jess is much younger than me. So she remembers it, but she doesn't remember it in an adult form. It's like what makes his persona so much weirder is that he was a football player. Everybody who watched football ever watched him. They knew who he was. He's one of the greatest running backs of all time. But
he was on Naked Gun too. He's a movie.
There you go. But so that's where he got past football. It's almost like the Swifties are football fans now, because like they got ingrained into it. Like, so there were like a lot of women and kids and other men who weren't really into football, but everybody knew who OJ Simpson was in some way, shape, or form, which made it more transcendental. Is that the right word? Than just like an athlete doing something bad or just like an actor doing something bad. It was like oh my God. And then of course it was like, the divides on who you're rooting for him to get off. That was like a really polarizing time in this country. It was crazy.
Oh, it really was, dude. It really was.
Anyway, I have not much more else to say about it, but I thought we had to talk about it because this is going to be the top story all day today in news, I think.
Oh yeah. Dude, also too, I know this is I don't know, this is still random that this just popped into my head. But the Kardashians are related, are connected to OJ forever.
Yeah, well, there's rumors that one of them is actually related to him. One of the sisters, but all denied that. But like, dude, Kardashian's dad. The dad was one of the lawyers.
His dad was one of the lawyers. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's what it just keeps the layers go crazy. Like Johnny Cochran was like a famous lawyer. Everything, dude. The gloves.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
It was straight TV drama. Like, or like it was like the best reality show, or worst, I should say. It's a terrible thing. We're talking about somebody, people who
Yeah.
lost their lives, but like, it was something else, man. It was something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, it was literally pop culture, not pop culture, but you know what I'm saying? Like it became such a thing
Yeah,
forever in our
yeah. Well,
society.
forever. There's probably gonna, 100 years down the road, people gonna be like, "Remember that OJ Simpson thing? That was crazy."
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's get into some actual sports and baseball here. Um, Listen, Jackson Holiday made his debut. We were all fired up for him to come out. Grinded, struck out his first at bat, but like he was a gamer. He got in there. What I was impressed with, I texted you, runners on second and third, less than 2 outs. What's he do? Hits that ground ball to second base, got his first RBI. You like to see that, especially with all the adrenaline. I can't imagine your first game you ever played, Sean. The adrenaline that's going. And by the way, you're in Fenway Park, you know.
Bro, yeah, you're at Fenway first game. Obviously, his dad made it there. His family, Matt and Leslie and Ethan all made it too. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Jackson Holiday, dude. Like, he's such a great kid, and bro, he's gonna make them better. He's gonna just make them better. Dude, I remember my first start, 1997, 6 o'clock, a 7 o'clock game, 1997. They grabbed me. They're like, hey, we're gonna give Tommy the night off. You're starting tonight. I didn't have time to get my parents there. My parents are like, I just called my mom and dad. I'm starting tonight. It was a game on Fox. It was like Thursday Night Baseball, Fox, right? Facing David Cohn. And the only reason I say it because I got my first RBI. Second, same thing. Guy on third, 1 out. I grounded out to second. First RBI. I went 0 for 4, but I'm always remember that first ribby. Like Jackson Holiday, will always remember Fenway Park, second and third, ground ball to second, got his first ribby. You know what I mean? Helped them win a ball game, and now he's off and running. It's like
Yeah.
it just that first ribby is a big deal too. He drove in a run in the big leagues. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I got a question for you. This is a big one because at what point? Yeah, okay, I make it to the big leagues. I get to spring training or whatever. The first time you're around the big league players, the guys you were looking at, and you're like, oh my God, I just watched that guy growing up, and I'm standing next to him. Was there a moment, whether it be in spring training or during one of the first games you played in, where it was like, I belong here. I can do this. Was it your first hit? Was it a line drive, even if it was an out? Was it, you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah. Dude, it's funny you say that. I honestly, when I look back at my career, like when I was in Cleveland, I went 2 for my first 3 and then 0 for 7. So I like pisses me off too. Like, look at the back of the baseball card. It's like 300, 300, 300, 320, 3. But you go back to that Cleveland, 2 for 10, 200. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't go one more freaking hit and be 3 for 10. But I honestly think, Chinch, opening day 1999, when I homered, I hit a 3-run homer to left field over Barry Bonds' glove. And I came out the gates dominating in 99. Like I said, I was hitting 371 at the break in 99. That first month of 99, I was like, I belong here. I belong in the big leagues. Now, I had already played in 1998. I'd been injured. I came back. I hit 300 in the second half, hit 7 pumps. But I was still like, man, I haven't broken out yet. Like I've always hit, like when I was in the minor leagues, I hit 349 3 years in the minors. And I'm like, where's that guy? Where's the 320, 330? Where? And he showed up in 1999. And that first opening day in 99, when I had like, a big day, I was like, oh, I belong here. And then, but every player goes through that. Every player, just because you're up in the big leagues doing well doesn't mean you.
No, that's good. Wait, just because, say that sentence again, just because
I was saying just because like in 1998 I was up there, but I still didn't. I was like, man, do I belong here? Like I needed some real success to be like, okay, I belong. Like, and I think for a guy like Jackson Holiday, he's gonna have real success right away. I think him having that spring training he did this year and going off, I think he knows he belongs. And one thing too, bro, that I think is a good thing is that when you're playing, when you're living your life or playing the game for a higher purpose, I really believe like, growing up in the house he did with Matt Holiday and Leslie Holiday, that their faith is such a big part. And you hear seen Jackson Holiday talk about it, even went to church with him when we were down there. But I think that's a big part of why he does so well. Because I think he plays with a freedom, like there's a bigger purpose here for him. So I think that's cool too. And I think that's why you're not going to see him be phased up in the big leagues.
That's good. Do you think back then, so back when you said 99 was a year, did you think you mentally prepared better for that season going into it? You're locked in on mental performance now. You weren't back then. You were just figuring out the world.
Yeah.
Do you think you had a better mindset? Do you think your mindset going into 99 was more positive, or is there an angle to it?
Well, I just think when I got traded over to the Reds in 98, the third day I was there, I got hit in the eye with the ball. I had the orbital fracture, 4-hour surgery. Then I went 0 for 35, got sent down, came back up a month later, did well in the second half. But I was always on that treadmill of like trying to get going. I just couldn't get going. And that offseason, I really lifted heavy. I hit a lot. I just was ready, dude. I was ready in 98, but so many things happened adversity-wise, I just couldn't get above it.
Yeah.
And then 99, when I was able to hit the ground running, I was hitting third. Greg Vaughn had come with, all those, there was so many good guys, Lark and, and the young guys of like Dimitri and Pokey and Booney, and we were all so close that it just made it a lot of fun. When I look at the Yankees now, I think of that too, bro. I look at their team. I don't know if you saw the interview with Rizzo. Was that yesterday before the game, where like all of them gathered around Riz as he was doing the interview, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like that's cool. Like Judgy's there, they're all in the interview, and then the game starts. It's like that's fun. Like they're having a good time doing that.
They're smiling more. The entire team is smiling more this year. It could be obviously winning games, you're gonna smile more, and they've won a lot of games, but like they just seem like they have an intensity, but they have like almost like a relaxed intensity, if that's even possible. But I think there is a way to be relaxed and be intense.
Yeah, it's a calm aggression, dude. It's a calm aggression. It's how you got to play the game, and when you're playing it with guys that you really like, and you have that fun. You surrender a little bit to the craziness of the schedule and the game itself.
Yeah, that's really cool. Plus, honestly, like, dude, having Rizzo there, Rizzo is just so what a guy's guy.
Bro.
It's
Riz is the best, dude. Riz is such a leader in that clubhouse. The guys love him. And I think one thing that, that's big is that Judgy loves him. Judgy and Riz are, they're boys. Yeah. They do a lot of stuff together. And Riz has already climbed that mountaintop, dude. 2016 World Series champs with the Cubs. Yeah. He brings a pedigree there. And it's so funny, dude. Last night, Riz helped us get the
reservation.
The reservation. Yeah, the reservation. Dude, yeah, remember, I went to bed at 1 a.m. Got the reservation last night. And so I had sent a video to Riz. Dude, thanks a lot for hooking this up. It's so great. What an incredible place. And so Riz calls me back. We're at like a little speakeasy afterwards.
Look at you.
So, yeah, like I said, dude, believe me. I was like, all right, time to go. So, Riz, he calls, so I get it. And dude, he's like, oh, that's so cool. These guys buy black on. I was like, guys win. Yeah. And he's like, no, we lost. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so, I'm like, dude, thanks so much for hooking up the reservation. Is so great. Sarah's like, reservation. Hooking up the reservation. And, I went to the game the other night and like, dude, I feel weird. Like sometimes you don't want to go down, like bother the guys, let them do their thing. You don't want to go in the clubhouse. And so Riz is talking on the phone. They're in the cold tub area. And then Judgy comes in and he's like, Case, he's like, if you ever come to a Yankee game again and don't come down and say hi to us, he goes, we're going to bundle you. I saw like that. I'm like,
oh,
I go,
so
bro,
cool.
I go, Judgy, next time I'll be in the cold tub waiting for you guys after the game.
No, but it's respecting. I get it too. Like it's hard to walk back into a place you don't actually work at anymore.
Yeah,
but you don't want to,
They got all the new guys and stuff. Yeah.
No,
That's right.
I get your point, but then it gets to a point if they offer you to come in, now you got to go in there.
Yeah. Well, now I'm coming.
And
Now
that's
they're gonna.
it.
Now I'll be there every homestand. They're like, what's Casey doing back here? Like, hey man, they told me I was coming.
Be in an umpire's uniform, like those guys in Toronto behind home plate, just like calling pitches and stuff. Dude, your boy Booney got tossed last night. He was pissed.
He gone. He gone. Dude, Booty's the
He
best.
can
Bro.
get after it.
Dude, when you're in the dugout with him, I can't tell you how many times I slap Mendoza and be like, here he goes. He's about to go off. He's about to go off. Like, and dude, listen, Booney gets tossed 4 times a year. He should be tossed 12.
Really?
The guy's chirping every game, dude. Every game he's chirping. But one thing you realize, the umpires can take it from the manager. They don't want to hear it from the coaches.
Right.
So like when you start chirping, they'll be like, "Who's that? Who's that?" I'm like hiding down behind Wilkerson. I'm like behind Judge. I'm like hiding. Like I didn't say it. It was Booney.
That's really funny. Did you see that ejection the other night? Shoot. Oh my God, who was it? But the John Boy did this. They they do so good with those. They do the lip syncing. So they
Oh
talk
yeah.
somebody, golly gee, who was it in the game? And he's like, oh, Red Sox manager.
Alex Cora got tossed.
No, this was the other day. So Cora's like, I don't know what day it was. It probably took John Boy a couple days to do this because it came out so great. But he's like, blah, 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 blah. And he's yelling at the ump, and the umpire goes, You want to get rung for this? And he goes, No, I don't want to get rung for this. And the ump goes, You're at it. And he was like, What do you mean? I said, I don't want to get rung for this. And he goes, I heard you wanted to get rung for this. And he's like, I said no. It was one of the funniest things. It actually shows the relationship when, isn't it funny? Like Booney's probably friends with a lot of the guys that have tossed him, right? Like you have a respect and a friendship, even when you get tossed with some of the guys.
Dude,
Not all
totally.
the guys. I mean, but it's like the next day, it's like you laugh at each other, right? And make fun of each other.
Yeah. Well, dude, one day I almost got tossed. Where were we? Was it Toronto? No, it was at home. It was at home. I almost got tossed at home one time. I was out of my mind because, dude, like I said, you love these players so much when you feel like they're getting squeezed out there. You just want to let. So one day, dude, it was a little much. And he was looking over and I'm talking to him between innings. He's like, Case, you want to go? I'm like, no, I don't want to go, but clean it up and freaking start calling better strikes and balls. So the next day I came out and brought the lineup card out.
Oh,
and the other was like, "Hey," I was like, "My bad, dude." I was like, "I must have had too much coffee." I was like, sorry about that. You know what I mean?
that's so funny. I used to be, when I was like my entire life, I think I only got ejected one time, and I was in like high school, and it was some stupid thing where I slid late and it said I didn't slide. But like, do you remember the first time you got tossed? Were you?
Oh yeah, I got tossed
and scared because you're a good guy. Like getting ejected from a sporting event, you're like, you feel like you're going to get in trouble when you go home, right? Isn't that crazy?
I only got dude. Well, the one ejection I got, the worst ejection I got was I was in Double-A, and my dad. I told you my dad was a Catholic priest back in before he met my mom. So my dad brings in like 7 Catholic priests. They all get together, their buddies, and my dad's probably watching this, so I might have some of the details wrong. So sorry, Dad, if I don't have it exactly right. But my whole family's from Jersey, New York, so they all come. We're playing Trenton. We're playing Double-A. We're playing the Double-A Red Sox. So we come out, and I got like 30 family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, priests. I got everybody there, dude. It's incredible, right? Well, that day we're facing Brett Saberhagen, and the night before we faced Brett Saberhagen and then Bill Hasselman. They were both down on rehabs. So, hey, listen, dude, we're minor leaguers, but we're not going to take it from the big leaguers. You know what I mean? At the time, and I hit a ball off Saberhagen, 3-2 pitch, dude. It was a homer. They called it foul. It went over the fair pole, and they called it foul. So I turned to the guy. I'm like, bro, Is this no? Then the next pitch, he punched me out on a pitch at my freaking chest. So and like Hasselman kind of like throws it around, and you could tell there's a little edge about him. And I turn to the ump, you know me, dude. I turn to the ump and go, "What is this, Brett Saberhagen day? Freaking, what are we doing here?" I go, "That's a home run, and that's a ball. Is this Brett Saberhagen day? Is this what we're doing?" And Hasselman's like, "Hey, bro," you start chirping at me or whatever. So whatever, I have a feel. So the next day, we're playing a day game. Like I said, I have all his family there in Trenton. The Guillermo Mercedes, our shortstop, speaks a little broken English, but he's getting in the box. Nicest guy ever, dude. He was one of my roommates on the road. Get in the box, and Bill Hasselman, he's taking too much time, and Bill Hasselman's like, "Get in the box." Guillermo's like, "What?" He's like, "I said, get in the box." So now I start chirping. "Hey, we'll let you know, Bill. Get back to the big leagues." I start chirping to Bill. I'm out of my mind.
Yeah.
Day before, all that stuff. It's like the fourth inning. So anyway, they almost go at it. Like they almost fight. Benches don't clear. Play at first base. Ends the inning. Now, their second, Bill's covering, Hasselman's covering, backing up the play because he's the catcher. Here comes the second baseman, Guillermo. Now, dude, I was ready to go. I had my glove ready to go. As soon as Guillermo was running down first, I start running out, knowing something's going to happen. So a couple guys get in Guillermo's face. I'm in their face. I start yelling at Hasselman. Now the bench is clear.
Oh, my God.
And I start yelling at Hasselman, like, "Hey, dude, like, go back to the big leagues." I'm a double A. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm yelling at Hasselman. So it's kind of inciting the riot.
Mhm.
And they're like, "You're gone." They toss me out. I'm like, "I'm gone." They're like, "Yeah, you're like inciting your riot or whatever."
Inciting a riot.
There's no riot. No one's punching. We're on a baseball field. So anyway, I tossed in the fourth inning, dude. My dad's buddies all leave. They're like embarrassed. Like, "Hey, we're out of here." So afterwards, we have this big barbecue in the parking lot. My dad didn't say a word to me. I said, "Mom," "what's wrong with that?" He's like, "Your father's pissed because you got tossed in the game in the fourth. He's embarrassed in front of his buddies."
That's a story. I have one super quick one that's like that. It's about dads. So my senior year of high school, it's our last regular season football game. We're gonna make the playoffs. Dude, my high school, Chaminade, it's really pretty big time football for high school, at least on Long Island. And our rival is a school, Monsignor Farrell, which is way in the crack of Staten Island, which from Long Island to Staten Island is just a very frustrating, tough trip. So, but it's our last regular season game. My dad was asked to do a speech in a wedding, and he turned down the wedding speech so he could come to my last regular season high school
Oh boy.
against our rival. No, this is not me. That's why I like this story. So we would have full on walkthrough. So let's say the game is at like 1 p.m. We're there at like 8 a.m. We do our walkthrough, whatever. We have like an hour, we eat something, then we get on a bus and we're going to drive to Staten Island. Now, in that one little break, I'll say it, his name was, we used to call him Doc Hollywood because his name was Michael J. Fox.
Right.
So he's a great player, great athlete, greatest dude, Mike Fox, who's the greatest guy. But he smoked heaters, dude, in high school.
He smoked heaters like
Dude,
Kelly Leak.
He smoked heaters from like freshman year on. He played baseball, football, a phenomenal athlete, just crushed heaters from the time we were like 12 years old. So now listen, so he's got this one break. And we got this break, and he's got like, not his pads on, but he got like, the shaman outfit. So he sneaks out around the back to fire up a heater before we get on the bus. One of the coaches sees him. We're in high school. First of all, I went to private Catholic high school. Shouldn't be smoking heaters there anyway. And he's on the campus. Shut him down. You're not traveling. Okay. You're not traveling. Now, let's not forget this is pre-cell phone. Okay. Now, he's terrified probably anyway because he got caught for this thing. We get there, and all the parents, they all about banners, congratulations, seniors, whatever, whatever. I'm standing there, and I hear, Richie, I'm standing like on sidelines. I look up, and I was like, "Hey, Mr. Fox." And he's like, "Where's Mike?" And I go, "I think you got to talk to one of the coaches, Mr. Fox." And they're like, ran away, dude. This man traveled all the way to the pit ass backwards part of Staten Island,
Oh
and
my!
his son didn't get to play in his final game because he got smoked. He was smoking heaters at 17,
Oh my
18 years.
God! Couldn't the coach look the other way and just say it's no big deal? You're smoking a heater. It's your last game of your life.
I guess. I don't know. But it was so funny, dude. And this guy was so cool. The dad was so cool, and Mike was so cool that, like, I don't even think he really got into too much trouble. I think they might have smoked heaters together if I look back on it now. Anyway, that just reminded me of that.
Hey, if Leland was his manager, he'd have been fine. Leland would have saddled up next to him and was like, "Hey, you got one for me."
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Nice. All right. Well, we didn't get to too much baseball lately, but we had a lot going on. We have major.
What else? We got a little bit of baseball.
What about the brothers, bro? Brothers.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. The Naylor brothers, bro.
Mhm.
First off, I coached Josh Naylor in the Under Armour All-American game back. There's so many good games, good guys that I coach are in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Dude, he's Canadian. He was on the Canadian national team. I love this kid, dude. Came up with drafted by the Padres. Was in that deal that brought who was the guy? Who'd they get? They got a big player. The Padres got a big player, and Naylor went over there in that deal. Which I at the time I'm like, dude, that's a great get for the Indians with getting Josh Naylor. And then his brother Bo Naylor, right? What a name. It was just bam. Nailing the ball out of the ballpark.
Isn't that awesome?
But dude, they both went deep in the same inning last night, dude. And dude, Josh Naylor is becoming one of the better hitters in the league. He hit 316 last year. Not a ton of homers, but his power's there. He's got big power. I think he's got 3 pumps this year already. And he just looks really good, man. So, like, I'm going to do a breakdown on him tonight, I believe, on the network. Cool. I wrote that down. So, yeah, the Naylor brothers. And, dude, how about Stephen Vogt? The job he's doing with the Indians, dude. They're like, their bullpen is – I mean, sorry. I can't say sorry. My bad.
You played
not
for the
Indians. Guardians. I came up with the Indians, but Guardians.
There you go.
Sometimes you never use it. But the Guardians, I mean, dude, they have one of the best rotations in the game right now. A lot of guys we have never heard of. And their bullpen's lights out. And they're swinging it, man. Stephen Kwan at the top of the orders, doing his thing, hitting for some power too. But, Josh Naylor in the middle of that lineup. Andres Jimenez has been raking at the bottom of the lineup. Bo Naylor's a young kid coming. They got some legit pieces. And I think Stephen Vogt's like, we talked about Terry Francona 2.0, man. He's awesome.
Hey, they're 9-3. Royals have been playing their booties off. I think they've won 6 in a row now. They're 8-4, but the Guardians really have put a lot together. And by the way, 7-2 on a road so far. Like, they did this all on a road to get started. I mean, it's got to be great you start the season on the road, which is kind of tough and a bummer. You come home and you have a 1-2 of the first 3 series of the season, and now you're coming home and you get that adrenaline from the fans on your home opening day. They're in a good spot right now, and that division is up for grabs. I mean, it's anybody's division.
Yeah, totally.
And the Twins, by the way, beat the Dodgers 3-2. I did want to bring this up to you. Muncy and Teoscar are leading the league in strikeouts. They both had 2 last night. They batted back to back, but I think that's only because they gave what's his name, the catcher, a day off, so they kind of reworked the lineup.
Will Smith.
Yeah, but
then Will Smith came in and got a pinch hit, and the guy rakes.
Dude, Will
Smith 1 for 1
rakes. That's a 10-year contract for a catcher because he rakes. Dude, that's unbelievable.
Dude, that's going to be a steal. 10 years, 140.
Yeah,
that's going to be. I mean, I hate to say it, but he probably shortchanged himself in a big way.
Wow, that's amazing. But you know what? If you think about it, like at that position, you saw what happened to Joe Mauer. You might as well get your bucks as a catcher.
Yeah.
But so Teoscar, obviously, both of those guys, they got bombs. Teoscar's got what he's got 4 bombs, 14 ribbies already. He's doing damage. But like, are you at all concerned that the 2 guys that are leading major leagues in strikeouts are in your lineup? But it doesn't matter because you have those superstars in the lineup.
I mean, listen, first, if you're navigating that gauntlet of Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman, that's tough. But at the end of the day, those pitchers are looking for strikeout guys. Because if they can pitch around those guys, you're going to take your shots at Teoscar and Muncy, obviously, and you're looking for punch outs. So, listen, it's not great to have a ton of punch outs back to back in your lineup. But, I guess the one thing with Muncy and Teoscar, those guys are all both 30 home run guys too. So, I mean, if they were in somebody else's lineup, you'd be like, these guys are the two best hitters in the lineup. But because you got Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts, and you look at that, where's the weakness here? Because you're almost looking for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a weakness because those guys can get you. They can win games themselves too.
That's true. They can win it with one swing each of them. All right, I thought about that for a second. There was one other thing that I wanted to get to with you. Oh, well, here. I mean, there's not much to say about this, but we should say it out loud. Ohtani cleared of the gambling charges, dude. It's a pretty big deal.
That's a big deal, dude. That's a really big deal. That's a really big deal.
Horrible for the whole situation, but good for baseball, I think.
Well,
Hopefully.
and two, the FBI was involved, right? So as soon as they, they're doing their due diligence. So the fact that Ohtani is absolved from it, that's a good thing for everybody. That means this was a legit investigation. The interpreter is going to be charged, and we can all move on now.
Yeah. All right. So a lot more baseball tonight. We got I think a lot of remake games, a couple of rainouts the other night. What do you got? You got MLB tonight? The late show?
Yeah, MLB tonight. I think I'm on 5:30 to 7 or something like that. I think I said I'm going to do a Josh Naylor breakdown, I think. And, dude, just love being in the studio talking baseball, man. Like, even with you every day, love talking baseball. And it's incredible.
It's fun. Who are you on with? Do you know?
Demp. Me and Demp.
Look at you.
Seth Meyers, we're on tonight. MLB tonight. We're all over the place, dude.
God, you're all over the circuit. What do you got tomorrow? You got Good Morning America tomorrow? Are you going to talk to
Yeah, might as well. I'm gonna go see if the Today Show wants me to come on. Maybe CBS Morning Show.
Yeah, go sing a couple of
Roberts.
Radio City. You're on fire this week. I love it. All right. Hey, by the way, if you guys haven't seen, go watch the show from last night. Seth Meyers, Sean Casey, Ryan Dempster.
Maybe you can put a link up.
I will put a link up there for you, Sean.
Yeah, put a link on the show.
All right, I'll put a link on it. Put a link right in there. All right.
All right, brother.
Have a great
day. Man, I love you tons. Everybody subscribe, download. Don't forget KC72 jersey, Yankee jersey. I want to sign it for a lucky fan. Let's keep subscribing, download, get that up to 4,000, and bam, we're going to get it out to you guys. All right, man. Love you, bro. I'll see you tomorrow, bud.
All right, bro.